everything in marketing here at Marathon starts with an idea, quite often on one of these iPads, or we've got a 4-person or 5-person team actually. So it also happens in a room. We all get together and we start brainstorming, tossing out ideas. So I'm going to run you through what we're up to right now. We're definitely not bored. This is a real interesting time because we're kind of switching right between all the things we do in print to get ready for the next season. That would include calendars, Christmas cards, brochures, to event planning, which is coming up. And you can actually see some of that right here. This is some artwork for next year's calendar. I'm not even finished with this year's calendar. So we've also got a tiki party coming up. As you can see on the screen, I'm developing all the flyers, posters, invitations, email blasts, all that stuff coming up, and I'll touch on that a little bit as well. On this other one is Mondays with Mal possibilities coming up. We just recently had an interesting meeting about that, trying to plan for that. But I think I'll walk you around my crazy room right now and show you what the 5 of us are working on and go from there. So real quick one right around the corner. This is a leftover one. One of the perks we have for our customers when we go to some of our bigger events, to some of the resorts. So it's actually a humidor full of cigars. It just looks fun in my office, but it is going to end up down at an event somewhere. All right, so over in this corner, a few fun ideas or things that we work with. This is all paint chips. Whenever we're not doing a custom mix, this is where we work with clients or with our spec coaches when we're designing paint. We have 2 people on staff that do that, myself and Sarah. This fun goodie is a leftover from a photo shoot. We did not my drink, of course, but the record player is actually something from, let's see, it was Valentine's Day, including Old Frank. And although Rush is not very romantic, they had a beautiful red cover, so we hide that part and go with that. Now we use it for Wine Wednesdays. Wine Wednesdays are things we throw during the summer when our clients are here, so that they can have something fun to do. So we provide drinks and have a chance to talk. We lug that guy downstairs for that. We do our own gallery wraps here. These are actually canvases that we do on site for people's offices and sometimes for customers. All this paraphernalia on the wall. So this is our marketing material. It's kind of, I just did a test run of taping it up there. I'm just getting ready to convert this to cork boards. This is so that we can see, are we staying unified with the branding of the company when it comes to our print material. These guys are backs to posters coming up. You can see also, this is another one that's in process. For our clientele, we have 2 trucks that we just purchased so that and for any of our clients, keep watching for one of these guys to show up at an event or some other show or rally, because you'll be seeing them come up soon. The company just invested a pretty good amount in these 2 vehicles. They're just now getting this design put on them. One for the West Coast, one for the East Coast. These guys back in here, this is what we send clients, these paint panels, when we're doing a custom paint job and we want them to know, okay, this is your colors, here's a rough of the pattern and the design. So let's move on to this desk. As you can see, there's nothing boring about what we do. These 2 big projectors, we're just getting ready to convert over our paint department where we're going to project the designs onto the side of the shells so that they can tape them off and mask them off. Another whole new project and bigger project that we're involved with. And of course, everybody's probably caught a glimpse of this from some of our Mondays with Mal episodes. This has been quite the project over the past year and a half, learning how to do live broadcasting. It's a heck of a lot trickier than you'd think. Most people who do successful live broadcasting, they have a person who sits behind a desk and they never move. Mal does not sit still, so it creates challenges, and the building creates challenges, and because of the metal construction, and the vehicles create challenges because they have signals and all that. All right, so as another side, you can see my friend sitting across from my desk. This is actually how hard we do work people here. not much left. And then we'll discard this person and go get another one. No, that's not really true. We actually have a lot of fun in this team. This is a big one that we're working on. This year's Christmas card. Matter of fact, in just a few minutes, I'm heading off to the print shop to go press check some of these items. This is our calendar for this year. Mickey's been double checking it for me this morning. The guys downstairs have been working on all the different sponsors, so by this afternoon we'll actually be sending this off to press. This goodie, this photo, is the one we didn't use, so this may be the only chance anybody gets to see this picture. This is one of the ones we rejected for the cover of the calendar, which on the other side of my desk you'll see I'll show you a whole pile of lights and wires we used for that. But that's okay, I'm not going to show you the real thing. You're going to have to wait and see the actual calendar so you can at least have one surprise. And now we'll switch over to this side. If anybody's ever been to any of our parties, you've probably seen the nice glowing sign. This was our prototype, so this one's done in cardboard and wood. This one I'm just getting ready to retire to the dumpster. I couldn't quite bear to part with it for a while. I finally have emotionally let go. This mess on the floor is actually our service department's paraphernalia, all of our printed work. And it's going to be going up on the wall with this cork board here in the next week. So that, again, whenever we're doing something for service department, we know what it all looks like and we make sure it all is in the same branding. Let's see. This goodie, man, we've used this everywhere. Whenever we have someone who purchases a coach and we want to say hello, welcome to the shop, here, welcome to the facility, we'll do this. We take these to events, we tell people what we're serving that night. There's all sorts of things we use these boards for. Now this takes about 20 minutes to line out, and we do the chalkboard art here ourselves. I do a lot of it. Sarah will fill in at times and do it as well. It's a little bit of a extra goodie, but it's worth it. It's kind of fun to have that personal touch other than just simply writing someone's name in plastic letters on a wall. And then we have all this beautiful stuff. This is next year's calendar, the holiday for one of the coaches. I'm also going to be purchasing, along with Mickey and Sarah, we're going to go out and purchase Christmas stuff here in about a week. It's Halloween time, so we're getting all the goodies for Halloween. We may not even shoot this coach for 4 months, but you buy it when you got it, and right now it's all for sale, so we're gathering it, making sure we got enough. Steve Shellhorn, the owner of the company, really likes it when the holidays are well decked out and look like a department store, as far as, you know, a lot of decorations, not just lightly or sparsely. And they always are a lot of fun, but surprisingly a lot of work, and they always turn out great. But it really does take kind of that personal touch where you got to get in there and dig in and find a theme and enjoy it. Otherwise it kind of shows. So again, this box down here is one of the small containers that we have. This is the remnants of the one photo shoot that didn't quite pass muster for the calendar. This, along with about another 5 boxes just like it, and it took about 6 people to do that evening shot. We will use that photo somewhere. Let's see. The wine bottles. Again, we're already working on next year, so since this is supposed to be Gothic, we found Gothic bottles, and we'll change the labels up a little bit. And in this case, we'll put Dracula's Private Reserve. So we came up, no, this isn't clip art, it's something we drew on the tablet. And we will actually alter the labels just for that little bit of a personal touch during the photo shoot. And that brings us to another fun one, and that is we're getting ready for a November tiki party. So this is kind of where these ideas start. I start in a sketch program like this, and right now I'm still on our Halloween stuff, but here we go. These are 2 of the original sketches that I did for some boards that we're doing, and a lot of decorations for these upcoming parties down in Indio. I then converted them over to this program on the tablet, and let me show you where it goes from there. So these are also some rough sketches. We actually had Mal, this was his original idea. As far as a tiki night, he went out and bought 4 actual older surfboards. This is kind of a rough thing that I came up with of what we wanted to look like. So let's go in and we'll give you kind of a preliminary glance of, you know, what all this artwork, where it ended up. It's kind of fun. Okay, so you can see here's the current ones, and boy, I'd like to say thank you to Steve Seifert also. Steve is one of our engineers who came in, and he took all the bamboo, which is kind of hard to see here, but he actually created the structure of it, kind of the bamboo A-frame that holds all this together and how to attach it. The patterns were done in a stencil. This looks like the same drawing, but it's not. This one's a drawing. This is a file converted that we have a special machine downstairs that cuts these shapes out of vinyl stencil so we can stencil the boards. So I did a lot of the painting on these, but Andy and Edgar down in the paint shop came in and polished them off for me. They added the clear coat and they did some touch-ups, corrected some of my mistakes, because I learned how to really respect what they do by holding some of their guns and shooting this. And they are incredibly good and incredibly fast, and I am definitely a newbie. But in the end, they turned out gorgeous. And so if you're going to be down in Indio in November, look for a tiki party near you, especially Motor Coach Country Club or Outdoor Resorts Indio. And you know, after that, Mal's going to have this stuff with him, so probably if you run into Mal out at an event somewhere, I wouldn't be surprised if these boards are going to be hanging around. So that's kind of life in the marketing department right now. Anything but boring. I mean, on top of that, we got people that are doing all the most important things, which are the basics, which is making sure our inventory is up to date, making sure postcards go out, email blasts. We've got brochures being worked on. We're trying to wrap up for upcoming events. And now we're actually calling places to start to set up events down. Oh goodness, we've got the Tampa Super Show. Of course, Indio I mentioned. We've got the NEDA show coming up. We also have events coming up in, oh goodness, St. Lucie on the East Coast, and Pelican Lake. So it's not a boring life. We definitely are always on the move, and we get to be creative, and it's a lot more work than you think. As you can see, we do a lot of juggling. So that's life in the marketing department here at Marathon Coach.
It's just because of Pete's cartoon background, I really think that's just such a dynamic looking tiki. The eyebrows, the face, this way and this way. It just is so.
And I can thank Andy for perfecting it. I put it on first, and he came back with a expensive gun and his talent, and he perfected it. He got that thing just absolutely perfect.
But you know, it's like, you're right, it is traditional. You got the shark fins in here, you've got the waves, plus you've got the Marathon logo, you've got the stripes.
Yeah, the tradition is these long stripes.
Yeah, it's just such a, yeah, man. This reminds me of an Ocean Pacific logo.
Yeah, there you go.
Out of the 60s, 70s, even 80s. An OP, but with Pete integrated the tiki text of the Marathon logo.
That was hand done too.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
And this board really shows the copper off really well.
Yeah, it is.